Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. And yes, I am back with yet another episode of Tower of God Full Spoilers. This time I'm kicking off from episode 81, and in the 5 episode sequence that has been going on forever, I'm only going to do 5 episodes. I will not go beyond 5 no matter what on this particular sequence because this actually has quite a bit of good content. Um, may not be spoiler worthy, but yeah, I'll see what I can spoil as we go through, right? The rules of this tournament aren't really important. This whole builder tournament was just a delay, right? We knew that they needed to put one more piece of the puzzle in place to play the hostage game like usual. And what I mean by play the hostage game like usual, every single time Balm is put into a situation is a hostage game. When it came to the whole Rachel situation, she couldn't go up, it was a hostage game. The sequence was there so that she was the hostage that he'd have to agree to a ridiculous set of rules. Then the next hostage game was the whole situation with Mule Love. It was a hostage situation. You got to choose whether you're going to kill everybody or whether you're going to come and fight me. You can leave them to be hostages. You get it. He had two choices. He chose to fight the Rancor. Okay, so these fights aren't really all that crazy. This fight is super simple. Bondwan is an immortal type individual. He was beheaded and he lived after being beheaded. And he's this crazy individual who skinned people from the bathhouses. I think he was taken after a legend from mythology. I'm not 100% sure. He sounds like a legend from mythology. And Beta made it to the island. So yeah, all of this is just so insane. I'm not even going to get into talking about it. I just hope that this isn't a 10 episode one where I managed to skip a whole lot of content because they premeditate so much of this and then I don't get to really show anything. This was built up so heavily. I wanted to see Balm vs Paragraph because I knew exactly how that fight was going to end, and this is how it was going to go. Paragraph's imaginary dogs were going to attack Balm, and Balm was going to copy the technique and blast him with imaginary dogs. Remember, that's Balm's special technique. Any Shinsu based attack will be used against you. So yeah, if you use a Shinsu based attack against Balm, Balm is going to use it against you. You should be able to use any attack besides enemas. Right, the enema attacks, I think they'll be special because they based on the enema who's supported by Shinsu. It's not the enema's ability that he can copy because it's not a Shinsu based ability. We know he can copy any and all martial arts instantly when he gets attacked by it, so that increases his ability. Yeah, so that's about it. And here we go with Wagnan summoning a teammate. And his teammate is Quattro. Fug vs. Mad Dog. Yeah, they're killing time. So we see that he explained what Fug did. So he got the heads up that Fug cheated, right? And remember, the whole reason why Balm is with Fug is because they're holding them hostage. And what they did was they attacked the hostages. So what happens when you're already attacking your hostages before you get your ransom? You don't get your ransom. So here's something else to note. Even if Reflejo had to fight Novik, I don't think he'd win. Right? The whole thing is that from the top 5 E-rank regulars, Novik, sorry, not Novik, he isn't there. From them, I know there's Baragrav, he's the big figure over there, and Rossi, Anak, Ran, and Cheng. So those 5 make the top 5 E-rank regulars. He isn't in the top 5, and then I know the top 10 we have Novik. And Novik is quite powerful regardlessly, so he would have had a tough time. The only thing that he had was the power from the Rancor, and using it burns him up and he dies. So if he did it, he wouldn't have been able to face off against Balm. So we see that this is an example of poison by information, right? If you get too much of information and some of the information is false, you can get poisoned by the information and led into a trap. Here's something else. This is finding information for yourself, and we see that Wagner realizes they can't notice him when he is outside of their range. So he figured out that they are 2 in 1, and all he's got to do is keep on their blind sides, and then he can blindside them and take them out. And when they fighting apart, they're much weaker than when they together. And like that, there now it's a 1-on-2, a 1-on-1 basically, where he's half powered, and that knocks him out. Completed. So they can instantly summon people. So we see they already promoted to the next round. Team Sweet and Sour, Rock Wraith Razor. You won. That's 300,000. Arc Raptor, that's 370 out of 500. That leaves them with 130. The needle to kill the king. That's the whole fantasy about that. Yeah, I'm going on to 10 episodes for this one. So yeah, this needle, actually I can do a spoiler on this one. This is something really awesome. So the needle to kill the king is actually something that Enryu left behind. Enryu left it behind after he defeated the administrator on the 43rd floor. Now, Fox Anime News, or whatever the name of the channel is, I'm not 100% sure, he made a mistake about Enryu. You see, he said that he killed the administrator and he put him to sleep. He made him submissive. But that's not true. You see, what happened was that the administrator was killed, and in its dying breaths, it gave birth to a mini form of itself. It blessed its entire memory on a fragment, like how should I put it? Like a drop of blood. And this thing became a parasite and it fed off the low life creatures and it kept reincarnating because it's immortal. Remember, it was born from the administrator. It's the child of the administrator, exactly like what Yurik says. And it becomes a small parasite, and when it bonds with Haljo, it becomes way more powerful. It gets to grow to almost its full potential. And when it's removed from Haljo, it ends up in Balm, and in Balm, its potential is ridiculous. Its potential is even greater than anyone can imagine. Balm has the power of a guardian on his side. So not only can he create contracts if he really wanted to, Balm most probably can do some really insane things with that power. And he's only starting to tap into it now at this time. And with the powers that he has gained from White, he has the Colossal Soul, which is a requirement for the Guardians, which we find out about on the Floor of Death. And there's Beta stabbing Balm. The poison aspect of things is when you give information and you put a small lie in it. So you give true information, true information, true information, and you'll insert your lie in between. Then it's true information, true information. So when the first thing happens, what happens is you gain trust. The second one, the trust is now reaffirmed. The fourth, you're now totally, the third, you're now totally trusting. On the fourth one, if you put in the betrayal at that point, they weren't expecting it, and when that happens, you shatter all the trust completely. When the next occurrence happens after that, they're the fifth one, exactly like they expected. They weren't expecting it to be as expected. They were expecting another betrayal, and that ends up putting people at a disadvantage. It's called the poison method of deception. I don't know if I'm explaining it 100% to its maximum, but I know that a lot of people use the poison method of deception. Okay, so let's keep going. And here's Pobert Augusting. Now, what's so weird about that is Gusting already has handled the Thorn Fragment, right? And he hasn't seen its power. So this here tells you that not anybody can just use it. It has to be used by the new irregulars, those who come into the tower. Okay, I'm not really going to try and do anything. So now with Balm being caught and everything being put into play, Snakehead from the Snakehead team is going to threaten Kun directly. Shibisu and Kun. So yeah, we see Karaka, Paylord Yama, Kal Halam, Sophia Tan, and there's one more elder who's part of this whole group. Now the elders are very special within Fug, right? Each one of them is quite powerful. They can do some crazy things, but they in no way equal to the Slayers. They don't have irregular powers. They have standard powers. They're just very powerful rankers. If you're thinking about Kal Halam, he can put up a fight against Evan Cal, and that makes him quite powerful, right? Evan Cal is a beast, and he can fight Evan Cal plus Baylord Yama at the same time. Obviously, there is a massive limit on both of their sides. Um, Evan Cal hasn't been able to fully unleash the Ancient One within her. If she fully unleashes the Ancient One, I think that would be a full show of the battle power. Kal Halam has that redirecting power, which is what he relies on so heavily. And we're about to get into the craziness of this part of the story. So this is a special substance that's locking away Ishinsu, and because it did that, the thorn is now reacting to Balm. Just like the fragment inside him releases the moment Ishinsu gets locked, right? Because you've seen it happen before. So here's something weird to say. You see these things that absorb Ishinsu, considering that he has the blessing of Shinsu and he has an internal supply. If he just overloads, everything can explode, basically, because they'll have a limit. The octopus could keep spewing out the Shinsu, but this isn't going to do the same thing. He could make it keep going until it doesn't have the ability to stop anymore. You know what's so unique? If they put Bomb Soul into the weapon, it wasn't going to ignite for anyone. Even if Karaka begged it to ignite, it wasn't going to do anything because they hurt his friends. So if they managed to do this here and Bomb was the soul imbued into it, they were going to have a hell of a time trying to get Bomb to do anything. You changed your weapon to even know how to pull the trigger. Hot. There's a man-sized bug. Oh, Vespa took off her wig. What? A gigantic moth? Vespa is a bee. So we see Kun calls an emergency meeting. Sorry if I was a bit silent there, but this is something that you have to understand. Kun is now in full full power mode basically for all of this craziness. And I think I went silent for a bit there because I was mentally thinking about the story parts. I was supposed to actually voice it. I'm not 100% whether I said what I meant to, so I might repeat some of it here. Um, when Hut, oh no, I did the gun story. I voiced out the whole thing. Kun being a jerk. Yeah, that was the last of it. It's just very weird for me. As I said, I'm a little bit sick in the previous video, and this is still on the same day, so I am also feeling it. But I'm not sick in the sense that I'm totally out of it, but just a little bit. I have to keep a little bit more concentration to keep my stomach calm and keep my voice in order. So it's a little bit heavier on concentration than normal. So we see that Lero released all of the prisoners. This is a major distraction. And here comes the next part. The game is going to continue into part 2. So now we get to see the whole plan that Mashaya, Jinsung, Ha, and Waryun came up with. Remember, Waryun is a guide, so she knew that they were planning to betray her. It was stupid of Karaka to even think of doing it when there's a guide on the other side. So this is how they plan their whole strategy. When they force Balm into the room with the Thorn is going to meld with him. The moment the Thorn melds with him, if you try and melt him, you're going to lose the power that they want with the Thorn. So you're going to have to make sure that things go perfectly well. You're going to have to knock him down and make sure that he can't do anything to stop it. We don't know how powerful he'll become with the Thorn. I'm not really worried about these fights, although they are going on in the background. Yuan and Rak versus these two is a silly little match. The Flame Eater and the Impenetrable Hat guy. Rak comes up with a pretty decent way to take care of them. And they get Beta into the game by giving him the Parasite. We also find out that Beta is exempt from some rules of the tower. Unlike most of the people in the tower, he is exempt from some of them because he's basically just a weapon. So here's the abandoned calling center. They're setting it up for the transfer of Balm. This is one of the most boring little sequences, but it does have something very important. They show how stupid Baragrav's angel is, right? And the reason why they show how stupid she is because Reflejo explains that Waryun is a guide, and that the guide isn't committing suicide, it's finding paths to get around whatever they're doing. So make sure that you don't stop chasing. And she's so stupid that she actually repeats the same mistake a second time when they know how bad it's going to be if they allow her to escape. Waryun also allows herself to get captured. Remember that she knows what the sequence is, so she allowed herself to get captured and tortured just to have Balm come back and play this final part of the fight. If Balm had left sooner, then Fug most probably would have chased after him. So yeah, you understand, Waryun is playing 6-dimensional chess and we thinking about 3-dimensional chess. She's playing in dimensions that we can't even imagine yet, and we all think that we're all hot stuff when we see her strategies play out. So yeah, that's how I would describe it. Dionysus. Dionysus is one of the gods of Greek mythology, if I'm correct. God of anatomy, if I am 100% correct on that little saying. Okay, so they there and they're about to find Bam. Bam is gonna escape on his own. Just for, by the way, here we go. Okay, so we see that Reflejo is saying they're going to gain the power, but in the hands. Okay, wait, here's it. The weapon will work as a catalyst to bring change and revolution to the tower, and it won't come about in the hands of some rookie slayer candidate, but in the hands of my great master Karaka. So here's the reality: Karaka could never match up to Bam. As strong as Karaka is, Bam has overtaken him in less than 5 years. From where they started off indifferent to where they are right now, in 5 years' time, Bam overtakes Karaka in potential. Let me see. In 3 years' time, they meet on the platform for the Hell Train. The Hell Train lasts for a full year, so that's 4 years. So 4 years' time, and then 2 years after that, there is when season 3 kicks in. So that's, oh, sorry, it's 6 years. In 6 years' time, Bam is way out of the league for Karaka. That's how fast Bam grows. And that is just where Bam ends up in such a short period. So we see the wondering what's the whole idea. So here's something else to note. If Bam is too close to thorn fragments or within a certain range, they'll instantly go to him. And the longer he has thorn fragments on him, the more drawn to him they're going to be. Remember, he unsealed the thorn fragment all on his own on the hidden floor. So that's another thing to note. She's a guide. She wouldn't kill herself. Don't let them escape. And level 85 patrol, Blue Titan. Uh-oh. Novik, move. Zoop. Bang. Viol just OP smash. Showing up like a total Chad. Okay, so let's just talk about this here for a little bit, right? So the whole thorn issue, the thorn should resonate with Bam whenever he's close to its pieces, right? We know that one piece brought from the floor of death was here. Then there was the piece on the floor of death that Bam picks up, which was inside the waterfall. That makes 2. We know that 2 other pieces are smuggled out in somewhere in the tower. So when Bam finds the next 2 pieces, considering that he has 2 pieces, the third piece should instantly resonate with him. I suspect Rachel will get a hold of one of them, just for the sake of her part in the story. I'm suspecting it's going to be how she dies. But anyway, when he gets a hold of the third one, I have this feeling that it's just going to be drawn towards him. It's going to like instantly get pulled to him. Wherever he finds it and however he gets a hold of it, it's just a multiplier to his power. It's going to be where Balm kicks up the next section. So I think this won't be part of the Princess arc, but following the next season, I think we're going to go on another Thorn hunt. We're going to get one piece, then we're going to have another arc in between of fighting with 10 great families. Then we're going to have the final Thorn piece hunt, where he's going to fail to get a piece. Then we're going to have the Balm defeat arc, basically, where Balm catches a hiding, which is standard for just about every story nowadays, where you end up on the back foot so badly that you're not going to get anywhere. And Balm is going to be pushed down, he's going to lose all his powers or whatever it is. And then we're going to get the final part of the entire battle, when it's Balm vs. Jahad in the final season. So yeah, we're going to get that whole build up and the crazy fight on the 134th floor, and then we're going to get the opening of the 134th floor, and we're going to get the new TOGs from that point on, if I can imagine where the story is going. That's where it should be going. That's how it looks like it's being plotted. If I am correct, we are going to follow that stretching mechanism. If we get a Thorn hunt in this season, then we're too close to the end. Once all 4 pieces of the Thorn are brought together inside an individual like Balm, I believe they're going to mend together and become a single object, a complete stable weapon that's not going to be deteriorating and split in 4 pieces. Instead, it's just going to funnel its power directly into its user. We still have to meet Enryu, because he's definitely got a part to play, and we still have to meet Pentaminum. Pentaminum, I suspect, is later down the story in the final section after they open the next floor of the tower. But Yurik, I expect to meet him well before then. I hope that you all did enjoy this episode of Full Spoilers. It's been another 10-piece episode 81 to episode 90. So catch you all in the next one, and have a good day.